and welcome back. Lindsay Sewell here of lindsaysewell.com, and today we're going to talk about vanity metrics. If you're not familiar with vanity metrics, these are the thumbs ups, the hearts, the likes, the comments that you see pretty much across all social media platforms. And they help the algorithms on these social media platforms determine whether or not your content is worthy of being shown to more people. But they also have the unintended consequence of really damaging the self-esteem of a lot of people, adults, but even more importantly, teenagers, right? Teenagers don't have that fully developed frontal cortex, and they are very influenced by the reactions of their peers. So one of the reasons that I suspect that Instagram removed the likes and the hearts from their platform in 2020 was probably due to this impact that it was having on the emotional well-being of their audience. And there were movies that came out that explain this. There was a lot of information out there from some of the people who worked at these companies before about that impact that that was having on consumers of social media. So that's one of the reasons why I've always thought that vanity metrics, they don't make or break your business. They've never been that important to me. But here's why people put so much energy and focus into them. One, because they want to juice up the algorithm. They want their content, if they're in business, if they're a content creator, if they're a course creator or a coach, they want their content, they want their thought leadership, they want their information in front of as many people as possible. So they're kind of playing the game of social media. But two, the reason why they impact us on a very, very, very subconscious level is because as humans, we're hardwired to judge based on size and number. Let me give you a couple real life examples. I remember reading a story a while back about a new chiropractor, and he actually asked his friends to park their cars in the parking lot in front of his building when he first opened. And the reason why is that he said to them, I need your help because if nobody sees any cars parked in front of my building, they're not gonna think I'm very good at what I do, and they're not going to book appointments with me. Or when they show up, they're going to turn around and leave because they're not gonna think that I am qualified. They're not gonna think that I am credible. They're not going to think that I can help them. So think about how that translates online. Another example, and you've probably experienced this for yourself, is when you see a restaurant, even if it's a restaurant you're excited to try out, and you've been thinking about it, talking about it, planning it, made reservations, you show up and the restaurant doesn't have anyone in it. What is your initial reaction? Now flip that to what if you show up at a restaurant and it's hopping and it's a line out the door and it's a 2-hour wait, and you'll gladly wait because you believe that it is more valuable, it's more delicious, it's more desirable based on size and number. So because of this, people will go ahead and go to big extremes in order to leverage size and numbers on social media. But I want to challenge your thinking a little bit here today and give you a few reasons why you might not want to pay attention to other people's size and numbers of their likes and their hearts and their comments. And you may not want to put so much emphasis and so much value on those metrics after this video. Now, the first one is because a lot of people will ask if they're posting something for their business or they want content to get out in front of more people and they're on a team, maybe they're in a network marketing business or they're on some other, company, organization, or team, they'll actually ask their friends and people within that organization. I've seen this for book reviews too, for new books that have gotten launched. They'll ask their friends to come and like and share and comment and basically give them a virtual high five. Right? That's not valuable feedback. Those comments aren't relevant. They're not actually displaying the value of the content, the service of that individual, or the product or the opportunity at all. And so it really is just virtual high fives from people who are already in. They're already committed, and not from those who are interested in what that person has to offer. And so if you see that and you're swayed by that, you may get pulled into, for lack of a better word, their trap to get you intrigued and interested when it's maybe not as good as you think it is. Now, the second thing that I will see people do is they will post something, they're having a baby, or their kid's first day of school, or they got a new puppy, and they'll get all these likes and all these comments, and then they'll go one by one and start to prospect those people for their products or their business, their coaching program, their courses, whatever it is. And those likes and those comments about your puppy or your kid's first day of school have nothing to do with your business. And those people aren't wanting to get that basically prospect. They don't want to be prospected about those things just for liking and commenting. It will actually hurt you, because in the long run, they'll hesitate before doing it, because they won't want to get caught up in that trap again. And so if they don't give you permission to share with them about your business or your products or your services, don't ambush them with your stuff just because they like the picture of your dog. To second that, what I'll see people do, and marketers like to exaggerate. So they'll post something and they'll get a lot of reactions, and then they'll go back and they'll use it in their promotional material and their advertising. Go, look, I got 250 comments and 600 hearts and likes. And it will be something that they posted in a group of 400,000 or 500,000 people. Right? So if you look at the real numbers, they're getting this percentage of interest out of a very large pie, but the numbers look large to you. So why am I telling this to you? I'm telling you this because I want you to be aware. I want you to be thoughtful when you're doing your business. I want you to be educated about what to look for, and I also don't want you to see those things and allow them to mess with your self-esteem, your abilities, and your message. Now, the next one that I see a lot of times is that people will use this to try and game the system, right? So if it does in fact give them an algorithm boost, anytime there is a pain point and a need, someone will come up with a product or a service that they can sell to that audience that has that pain or that need in order to make money off of solving that problem, right? This is how everything is consumed in the world, right? There's a pain, a need, and somebody comes up and sells something to solve it. Well, when it comes to these vanity metrics, of course, someone is going to come up with some automated system or software that's going to solve the problem. Now, a lot of these platforms will quickly catch on to these things and eliminate them, but people are innovative. And so if you're seeing somebody and they're getting a lot of engagement, a lot of reactions, and you're looking at the value of the content and you don't see the value of the content there, then chances are they've probably found some sort of a tool to game the system. And be aware of that. Don't let that convince you that you're somehow not good enough because you're not getting those same results, because you never know the entire story behind it. And the worst thing that I see happens from these vanity metrics, and it's why I wanted to share this video with you today to help protect you against this, is that people see these vanity metrics and they don't feel that they are as worthy of putting their message, their content, and their information out into the world. They say, how can I create that course? How can I do that video? How can I share what I want to do to serve people if I don't have as big a following as this person over there? And it completely stops them in their tracks. And it completely takes away the value that they were meant to put out into the world. And it reduces or removes or stifles the message that they're meant to share. And that is the worst part about these vanity metrics, is I work with clients who tell me they feel that they might be judged. They don't feel worthy enough to put these messages out in the world because they're not getting as many hearts or as comments as the next person. And I want to tell you that I want you to think about all the other things I said before about how you can game these systems and how you can trick the algorithm and how you can, these aren't always real metrics. And I want you to show up with confidence to put your message out in the world. You have something to share. You have something that would help somebody else. You have a gift. You have a uniqueness, and you need to show up in order to share that with people. And that's one of the reasons why I love email so much. With email marketing, think about people like somebody like Seth Godin, who was one of the greatest marketing minds of all time. And he blogged, I think he said he's written over 4,000 blog posts, and he puts them out every day. And he doesn't even know. He doesn't even know. He's turned off comments on his blog because he doesn't want that ability for people to go on there and use those vanity metrics. He's just going to put his message out in the world. And the same with email. I'm a big advocate of emailing your list every single day. And it doesn't matter if your list is one person or 100,000 people. You're delivering that one person at a time. You get to have that interaction and that engagement with one person at a time. They're consuming that content without knowing the size and numbers and making the decision of whether or not they find value in that message, of whether or not they want to work with you because they resonate with you and they believe that you can help them. So I'm going to encourage you to find a way to collect your ideal customers and to bring them into an environment like your email list or even maybe a Facebook group where you can share that message with them and not have the influence of vanity metrics working against you. All right, signing off for today. If you want to get on my email list, just go ahead and make sure you go to lindsaysewell.com and sign up, and you'll get an email from me every single day with my ideas and my messages and what I want to share with you.